What up, guys? It's Edgar Esteves of Blank Square Productions. I'm a director, Venezuelan American. I was an immigrant, 27 years undocumented, but we still here standing, and we're here with Bootleg Kev. Let's see ya.
Bootleg Kev Podcast. We got a special guest in here. The homie Edgar is here from Blank Square Productions.
What's up, man? How you doing?
These guys, I'm gonna let you kind of introduce yourself and just tell everybody what you do, man.
Man, Venezuelan American, director, just having fun and fucking shit up right now.
Yeah, you're like one of the, I would say the top 2 or 3 video directors in the game right now.
I appreciate that.
You've done, you did the box video.
Mm-hmm.
You've done so many videos. So like, what are like the bigger, like just kind of run down some of your, obviously you got started with Russ, we'll get into that, but like give me some of your like highlights of the last like couple of years.
Honestly, so that's a little confusion. I'm a production company and I'm also a director. So
your company is Blank Square.
Yeah, so Blank Square. And so basically I have 12 directors on my company, and then including myself.
Mm-hmm.
So then I direct projects and they also do projects. I like to be involved in a little bit of everything, just kind of like just about the culture and just showing people how to get things and how to treat artists. But yeah, it comes into a situation where I think a lot of the people are always like, damn, your videos are everywhere. It's like, no, my company's everywhere.
So what about your company? What are the bigger videos of the last few years that Blank Square's handled?
Man, we just did the Handsomer remix video with Tiffany Haddish. That was cool.
That one was dope. It was like a little mini movie.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just trying to bring back that old Chris Robinson, that old, like Jesse Terrero skits type of videos. But on other videos though, what else? Yeah, there's just so many.
A shit ton.
The videos that we're about to come up is like, we're shooting Nikki next week, so that's gonna be cool. Can't say the record yet, but
I think it's the one she's probably been teasing, right? The Freaky Girl record.
Just surprise for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm excited about that. And yeah, man, just there's so many videos at this point. Like I was just in Mexico shooting a big artist out there named Dana Paola. So and she has a huge following. I would compare it to kind of like she's like that new girl in Mexico. On the rise, and yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Just to try to like just work with different artists and different levels of their career.
Right. There was a video. Which video did you do that Tiana Trump was in?
Oh, the Throat Baby remix. Yeah,
the Throat Baby.
Yeah,
remix.
I'd be forgetting all the videos that we'd be doing, honestly. But
that was a crazy ass video.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about it, especially the baby scene where he was yeah. It's funny because me and my friends we're just like smoking weed. And we were just like in my living room and we're just talking about it. I play the record and we all honestly just came up with a scene and we were just like having fun with it. And we're like, yo, how nasty can you get with it? But still like making it in a cool way. And yeah, one of my friends was like, yo, what if the baby was, surfing down a tongue? And then someone else said like, yeah, like this. And then I was like, yeah, we'll put the goggles on him. And then like, we just started like collaborating on the idea. And then we're like, you know what? We wrote it in the treatment and LVRN, who manages BRS Cash, was like, we love the idea. We want to be provocative. And it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
What is like for you been the most creatively challenging video to pull off?
Man, definitely. I shot this video for Russ named Misunderstood. It was shot on motion control. So basically that camera moves like this, like a robot. And yeah, that was kind of a challenge. I had one day to do it. The budget wasn't like where it had to be for that type of video, but I really pushed it, gave up my rate, and I was like, yo, I really want to make something different. And at the time, a lot of like the media was talking about him and XXYZ, and I was like, I really want to highlight everything in a video, and just do it in one take and seamlessly, and I think I did a great job of it.
Yeah. For people who don't know, because you came to America as an immigrant, right?
Yeah, I came here when I was 11 months old. I was born in Valencia, Venezuela.
And where'd you end up coming to Florida?
No, actually, I moved to Houston for a year. So me and my family, just immigrant story,
right.
We were in a garage. And about like 10 months after we moved to Houston, we dipped out to Florida. But what people don't know, and like this is probably the first time I'll say it on camera, is like I actually came to America because I had like a life-threatening surgery in my brain because when I was a kid, I hit my head on a metal bed. So when I got hit in the head, I basically like no one knew because it was an internal wound.
Shit.
So I started having internal bleeding in my brain. So then my aunt comes home drunk at 3 in the morning from a nightclub, basically hears me crying in the middle of the night, picks me up, and I'm purple. I go to the hospital. And at the time, Venezuela, the healthcare is not the greatest over there.
Right.
So they were like, oh, he's having an allergic reaction. Just give him some antibiotics and he'll be fine. But then my mom's like, nah, something's wrong. So he took me to a private clinic. My dad before was going back and forth between the US and America. So he had an American Express credit card. So he put the whole operation on American Express, and that was made him go bankrupt. And that's the reason why we came to this country.
Shit.
Yeah, so then we moved to Houston because my dad had a friend over there. We stayed in his garage for like a 10 months, 11 months. And then my dad was like, damn, this is just not our vibe. So let's try to go to Florida. There's more Spanish people there. So that's why we went to Florida. And I moved to Fort Lauderdale. And then like in my later years in high school, I kind of like started making my shift to Miami.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's almost like
I was definitely meant to be here now.
The biggest gift and curse situation. It's
100%.
like, yeah, you had a crazy traumatic surgery, but if it wasn't for that, you probably wouldn't be here, right?
No, yeah. And then it's nice because it's like, it always gives me perspective of like, damn, they try to take me out early, you know, and I'm still here. So
no, that's crazy. So like, you end up kind of getting to Miami. I didn't know that you were interning for Lex. Shout out to my guy Lex out in Miami. I was just with him last week.
In Miami?
Yeah, he's a legend.
No, he's the guy. So yeah, with Lex, you can still look up my tweets back from like 2010. Yeah, I graduated high school, and if people don't know, like I came to the country and overstayed my my tourist visa, so I was undocumented for 27 years.
Right.
And so that means when you're undocumented, you can't work, you can't drive, you can't do anything mostly like that Americans could. So yeah, Lex, I tweeted him after high school because I wanted to go to college. I had some scholarships, but I was going to go to Virginia Tech for architecture, and I couldn't go because I wasn't a citizen. So then I was like, all right, cool. What else can I do? I used to walk around school with a little camera, just filming people, like little vlog stuff.
Right.
And I knew how to edit. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can get into like content or something like that. And I met Lex because I tweeted, I was just tweeting a bunch of places. I was like, yo, like, I didn't even know like how to submit my resume. Right. I was just like, Lex Promotions, I would love to intern for you. Like, da-da-da-da, the tweet's still up. And yeah, he hit me back. He's like, all right, cool, come to our office. I came in his office the next day, and then he was like, all right, cool, what do you want to do? And I was like, honestly, anything. And I interned at 5 companies. I interned at Hit Factory, Mix Studios, Lex Promotions.
Mix Studios with Jason, the guy who does the imaging for all the radio stations.
Yeah, the Mix Show. That's what it was called.
Yeah, no, shout out to him.
And then I interned at TwoNight.com and also for Poet Boy Music Group under Freezy as a graphic designer, because I learned Photoshop in high school. So I took like the traits that I knew about editing in Photoshop, and like, Lex makes flyers. So I started making flyers for them. And then I just started How
old were you at this point?
I was
like 17. Fresh out of high school?
Yeah, 17. That's when I graduated.
So you were 17, like helping out with flyers and...
Yeah, doing nightclub flyers for like Club Dream and all that Miami scene at the time,
Damn, were you at I know the dude from the mix group's got these giant...
from Take One down to...
He's got these Iron Man fucking statues. Were you there when he had those, Jason?
Maybe, I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you go from that, I know that like, what really kind of helped pop off you as a director was working with Russ, right?
Yeah.
So Russ was based in Atlanta?
Yeah, he was based in Atlanta. And the funny story about
is based in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's still based. But yeah, funny thing about Russ is like prior to Russ, I was working with this kid named Jake Miller. He was a pop artist.
Shout out to Jake Miller. I know Jake Miller. Yeah,
he's one of my roommates and one of my really good friends. And
he's at Empire now, I think.
Yeah, he is at Empire.
He's at Empire. Yeah.
And so then as I found Russ, I actually found him and Alicia Carr at the same time.
Wow. And
I was on ANRreport.com, and I saw both of those artists, and I was like, I don't know if that site still exists, but I was like trying to find a new artist to work with. And yeah, Alicia Carr lived in Toronto, so I was like, oh, I couldn't travel. So then I was like, oh, right, cool. Let me focus on Russ. So I DM'd him and I said, let's shoot everything. And he hit me back and he's like, bro, of course. And at that time I was already doing videos because, I came, under kind of Khaled earlier before that.
So what were some of like your earlier videos before Russ?
Oh man, I really started. I really want to give a shout out to Kika, We the Best, because he connected me with Ace Hood, and the Ace Hood connected me with Khaled. Khaled connected me with like the golden Miami hip hop scene, which was like Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki, Ross. Like I was around all of those guys because of DJ Khaled. And before that, like, I was DPing a lot for like, directors like Dre Films and John Jay in Miami. Yep. So like I was doing like, Tat on My Arms, and you get me Don't Panic with Rick Ross and Meek Mill and Yo Gotti. And I was just kind of like,
I remember the Spiff TV and the Dre Films era videos.
Yeah, I was looking up to guys like that coming up in Miami, and I was just like, yo, these guys, I remember there was an artist named Murph Music down there, and I was just like, yo, like, I remember one time I was watching this video, I was like, yo, shoot, Dre's like crazy out here, he's killing it. And I was like, this is what I kind of want to do. And he took me under his wing and just kind of like let me, you know, because I knew a little bit more about the cinematography side. Right. So he would direct and I would DP, which is like the director of photography.
Yeah. What is, so for people who don't know, because obviously directing, shooting, running the camera, DP, what is a DP in the grand scheme of like the process of a video getting done?
I would explain it the best as a cinematographer. So the guy who, you know, does the lighting and, you know, talks to the G&E crew, which is the grip and electric, to make sure, you know, everything's kind of set in tone. You get me? And you're really in charge of the look of the film or the video.
So back in the day,
different time.
Different time. Before you were using like DPs and grips and all that, I'm assuming all the early Russ stuff was just done with just your camera. I think I had heard you tell a story about the one in the forest. What's that video?
Oh, What They Want.
What They Want. And just like how you guys just kind of like winged that video a bit.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, because there's still obviously, listen, there's still great videos that are being done for like fucking $1,200, $1,500. There's people who have a Sony A7 II with the right lens that could pull off a good enough video, right? That would make sense.
That was a setup right there.
Oh, you had the A7 II?
I had the A7 I and then the Ronin, and yeah, just pull up.
Yeah. At what point in time did things start to change for you where you were able to kind of, because like obviously things really start to change when you don't have to handle every aspect of a video.
Yeah.
You know, because you've been in that position where you gotta shoot it, you gotta edit it, and you're like, it's like, damn. And now once budgets start opening up, you could probably have a lot more, you know, because I know what it's like. I have artists that's like, dude, we gotta keep this shit under this amount of money.
Yeah.
So the idea's gotta be not as grandeur.
Well, that's what like you know, when I was working for Ace Hood and Khaled, like I was shooting videos for them, but they were paying me like $1,500, $2,000, and they're just like, all right, let's just get a little video. But what I was doing, I was shooting videos for other artists locally, and then I would charge them like $2,500, $3,000. So I would take like half of my rate and then put it into Khaled's video or Ace's video because I knew they had the eyes. You got me? At the time, Worldstar was out. You know, I did a lot of videos on Worldstar.
So you were kind of like reinvesting your money into the shit that you knew people would see.
Yeah, because I believe in like people, not the idea. So I was just like, I knew Ace Hood at the time. He had Hustle Art, and he was like big in my city. So I was just
great
like,
guy too.
Yeah, and he just like gave me a chance. He's like, yo, let's go rock. Let's go shoot videos every week. And then Cal would give him, you know, a few grand, or he would pay for himself. I'm not sure who had the money, but and then we would take care of that. And it ended up leading me to a lot of features, and you know, working with like guys like Kevin Cossum, who's a songwriter.
Yeah, Kevin Cossum,
yeah, who introduced me to other people and this and that. And I was around the studio the whole time, so I met like Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes, J. Cole, all these people early days at the We the Best studio. So shout out to them.
Would you say linking with a single specific artist like Russ? Because I do feel like on the music side, that helps producers, right? If you're a producer, I always tell producers like, yo, if you're a producer, find an artist that you can come up with, that you can craft a sound with, and then build with that person. And would you say you kind of did something similar on the video side with Russ?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I said one time, like, you know, instead of trying to build with like Jay-Z and Kanye and, you know, the Lil Waynes of the world, I was like, let me build with like, you know, the Russes, the Little Babies, you know, the Roddy Riches of the world, so we can, you know, grow together and take it to the next level. Because at one point, you know, everyone saw me as the cameraman, and they were like, yo, you're just a behind the scene guy, and you're really good at that, and we're gonna keep you here. So like a lot of people were just like, they never saw me in the light, and they didn't know that I could do that. That's why I decided when I left Khaled, I was like, I'm gonna go find another artist, and it was Jake Miller. He was a kid who lived like 15 minutes away.
And Jake Miller had a wave.
Yeah, he was like, it was like Justin Bieber, Austin Mahone, Jake Miller, Shawn Mendes. And yeah, we started working with him, and yeah, things just started slowly, you know, growing. And then I started realizing that the music was, you know, slowly connecting, but it was really the YouTube videos that really started blowing them up. And then I was like, and I was, you know, for my work ethic and his vision as a entertainer. And then we just kind of started working that way. We started dropping vlogs almost every day, and they were about 10 minutes. So I was just cranking them out, and he started blowing up. He went on tour. I was like, yo, me and my friend, Joanne, he started the tour because I couldn't travel at the time.
Right.
But then like, I think like 3 weeks later, I got my first license at 24, and then I was able to travel. And yeah, I ended up chilling with Jake, and for about 2-3 years, just building up with him until he got signed to Warner Brothers. and they gave me my first chance to direct a $10,000 music video. So that was the first time I ever got a DP, a producer, and was able to do something finally, you know?
That's fire. What's your turnaround time on a 10-minute vlog? For video editors that are watching this.
Honestly.
Because that's the biggest gripe. If you hire someone to edit video, it's the turnaround time.
Well, for me, you know, like I couldn't work legally, right? So like you gotta understand that like I was just like I wanted to make a good impression on everybody, and I didn't want to lose the job because they were paying me under the table.
Right.
So it was just like,
and this is because of your immigration status.
Yeah.
You were here
I would do a 10-minute video literally every day. Like,
but how long would that take you?
It would probably take me like, at the time maybe like 5-6 hours to edit it. You get me? So I would shoot all day, and then at night I would edit it, and then we would do that on tour. And then that's funny because the stuff that I did with Jake Miller actually started spilling off into Russ, because I had that work ethic that I was basically when I came to Russ and I started doing his music videos for free. Then I was like, yo, I want to go on tour with you. And he's like, bro, you want to come on tour with me? I'm like, for sure, bro. Like, I'm here to help you. I want to see you blow because I think you're going to be a big artist.
Right.
And he's like, all right, cool. So we went to the Did It My Way tour. And he, you know, he started, I think Chicago was like 75 people. It was like very small shows.
Right.
And I knew from the Jake experience that I was like, I could shoot these videos and make 75 people look like 200 in the video and make it look more amped through the editing. You got me? And then that's what happened. And then next thing you know, shows started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now he's, you know, 17,000 at the Hollywood Bowl. So
it's fucking crazy. Yeah, sold out the Staples Center.
Yeah, yeah. And then I came out on stage on both of them, and he's like, and he's so dope that he lets you do that and lets you be a part of that moment. And that's why I always big up Russ. And, you know, he taught me a lot about just, you know, I knew I was manifesting, but I never knew what that word meant. And like, he kind of gave it a definition for me. So like, it really inspired me to like, you know, do the stuff that I do now. And I always give my hats off to Russ because a loyal guy, trustworthy, gives it his all, and, you know, very inspiring.
I think Russ is like one of the more inspiring people for me personally of like the last, I don't know, dude, because I'm just like, this dude makes no excuses. And I appreciate the fact that like, he's so like, most people try to hold on to the game.
Yeah.
This guy just openly shares it with everybody. And
he inspired me to do the same thing with videos. You
it's like, dude, like, if you're not listening to this guy as an artist and like applying what he's saying to like your own personal shit, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's like either you're a hater or you just like, I don't understand. Cause I'm like, yo, he's giving away all the game that most labels, managers, they don't want you to have any of this shit.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
But you know, I think when, you know, and I have a very like, we always talk about this, how we have very similar trajectories, just in different paths.
For sure.
And it's just like, you know, you get rejected so much and you're just like, you have this chip on your shoulder, you know, people telling you, oh, you're just the cameraman so many times, or I'm telling him, yo, you're just a producer, you're not really a rapper, or you're not good enough, or all those things and all those like, you know, I guess attacks they have on you, like they build up. And then it's like, you start realizing once you get it, you're like, you know what, we don't need to, you know, depend on anyone else. Yeah, depend on anyone else. And also when you find happiness, helping others find their happiness. You get me? And that's, I think, more of our agenda now. And I can't speak for him, but I know that's kind of like his vibe. You know, he just wants to help. And he wants that kid who reminds himself of Russ when he was 20 years old, like to be like, yo, you can still do this. And that's why I post things like that too.
Yeah, for sure. You post a lot of motivational shit. 100%, man. Yeah. And you have like a lot of old footage. Like you got a ton of.
That's the thing is like I knew I was gonna be something one day. I just like I didn't know how I was gonna get there, but I'm like, let me document everything, because that's honestly what I do. So I was like, let me document everything and have this very like I guess I would compare it to the Kanye West Genius, and I'm for sure. And you got to document stuff like that just so you can look back on it and be like, look, I was talking that shit in 2012, I was talking that shit in 2010, and 2022, like. You go back and check the receipt. You know, if you want to do the homework, you'll see that like I've always had this confidence and I've always been this type of person. Right. So it's like, don't tell me who I am because I know who I was. You get me? I was just ahead of where I was at the time. You know?
We got to stop the interview real quick to tell you about our folks at MyBookie. Ladies and gentlemen, motherfucking NFL season is approaching. It's my favorite time of the year. God damn it. It's good times. And the Rams versus the Bills is happening, kicking off the whole regular season. And there's no way to get ready for that regular season like getting ready for that winning season, all right? I'm talking about putting some motherfucking money in your pocket. You could be a veteran bettor like me, or you could be a first-time bettor and you just want to get a little taste of the action. MyBookie has got you because right now they got that double deposit bonus. If you sign up at mybookie.ag right now, go to MyBookie. It's quick and easy. Let's say you put $250 in. you get $500 to gamble with. That's right. It's a double deposit bonus, but you have to use the promo code BOOTLEG, BOOTLEG. It's also in the description of this video. You can just click the link and you're in there. So go to mybookie.com, use that double deposit bonus by using the promo code BOOTLEG. You got to register today, use it, and let's get this NFL season fucking cracking. I'm talking, listen, I don't even know the line of the Rams-Bills game. It's about a week, I don't know, some change away depending on when the fuck you're watching this. But Bills money line, what are we doing, all right? MyBookie, sign up, use that promo code BOOTLEG right now and get that double deposit bonus. If you put in $1,000, you get $2,000 to gamble with. You put $100, you get $200. It's that fucking easy. MyBookie, go run it up. Let's get back to the interview. Okay, hypothetically speaking, there's somebody who wants to shoot music videos, kind of follow your path. They got $5 grand in the bank. What camera, what lens, what are they getting to get the most bang for their buck to try to, you know, maybe they're in Missoula, Montana, and they want to start shooting music videos for their homie. What are they getting? Give me the breakdown of like the gear that you could get for about $5 grand.
Honestly, if you're trying to get in music videos, I always tell people, like, you got to believe in the artist. You got me? Like, you got to listen to the music. And like, I think equipment is definitely, you know, helpful. And I would definitely rock with that Ronin and that Sony A7S. And, you know, just pop a memory card in there and just have fun.
Any
with
sort
it.
of lens?
The Rokinon, you know, lens set, you know, low light. You can shoot at nighttime. You can shoot at day. Really, really clean glass. But, and you probably get that all under like probably $4 grand. But I always say, like, it doesn't matter who you shoot videos for if like the song is not good, if the artist doesn't have that confidence that he's going to be the biggest artist. And I saw that a lot in myself. So then I started trying to find artists with that same energy. You get me? So when I saw Russ, I was like, yo, I was listening to music and he's talking that shit. If you listen, you get me?
For sure.
And even back in the day, like I was like 2014, 2015, he was, you know, he was rapping about like how he's going to be the biggest one day. And like, that's the type of confidence you want in an artist. And that's kind of what I bet on. You get me? And I was like, and same thing with Jake Miller. Like, you know, he had a really beautiful family and they were also working. He had a manager that managed Jason Derulo and he had a good team set up. And I'm like, oh, this guy's going to win. You get me? It's not just like the music. It's also like the structure and, you know, their surroundings. And they had that. So
you said the Sony A7S.
Yeah, the Sony A7S, the Ronin, the Rokinon lens set. And, you know, get some ND filters, you know, and some circular polarizers, you know, if you're shooting outside. And honestly, a lot of YouTube tutorials because that's how I learned, you know.
Would you say Final Cut or Premiere?
I'm going to go Premiere, but I started off Final Cut. Nowadays, Final Cut has its perks, so does Premiere. So it's just about, you know.
Yeah, I know some people use both. And then there are people who are just so married to like one or the other. Like I know Final Cut guys, like him and with the man bun over there, just won't let go of Final Cut.
Well, you know. It's honestly really just depends on who you are and what you're trying to do. But I also like, I think there's a big thing is also like what I started learning because I didn't learn this early is, you know, a story. You know, what are you trying to say? What's a theme? You know, what's the universal theme that everyone's going to connect to? You get me? Like when we shoot Russ is Exposed and we basically pull up a bunch of archival concert footage, we shot that video literally in 2 minutes. It was snowing in Spokane, Washington. And I literally said, yo, stand right there. We're going to shoot one performance. I took that performance, I mixed it up archival footage of the tour, and then I just basically put up text. You get me? Same thing with What They Want. You know, it was a 40-minute video shot.
That's crazy.
You know, I just went there and I was like, damn. And the first video that
the coloring on that shit was so fire.
Yeah, and I learned it through a YouTube tutorial. You got me? And I was there on YouTube, like looking at how to do infrared, and then going back to DaVinci. That's a coloring program. Right. And then I was like, boom, and I was just doing that back and forth. And that video is funny because we were shooting this video and he was dressed in all white. He had a glass of wine and we're like, yo, this is kind of whack. And we're like shooting this for 30 minutes and we're like, this ain't it. So as we're driving back through a botanical garden in Atlanta, I see this shed and I'm like, yo, let's stop there. And I remember, I think Travis Scott and T.I. had a video called Upper Echelon that was shot in like a cabin. And I was like, maybe I could do something here. And then I walked to the cabin. I was like, yeah, I could shoot this. How about this, Russ? Let's do like a few takes and let's see what we get. And we did that. He was performing, he was having fun, and then I took it home, and then I'm like, damn, this video kind of sucks. And then I was like, how can I make it different? And then in the editing process, that's when I made the leaves infrared, and then next you know, that's kind of like what set this video off.
Yeah, no, for sure. The coloring was crazy. I feel like, was that like, that was before that record was technically that was before he had his deal, right?
Yeah, we shot the first video we ever shot was Losing Control, then it was What They Want, then it was Do It Myself, then it was Pull the Trigger. And I shot the first 3 videos for free, and then the 4th video was Pull the Trigger, which Russ was, at that point had enough money to, pay me like $7,000 for the video.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, man.
100%.
Now that you're kind of like in the position that you're in, right? Do you, because I don't know how the video game works. Like, obviously there's a lot of people who are doing what you're doing, but like, do you like pitch for videos?
Yeah, sometimes.
Or is just people coming to you? Like, for example, you said that you manifested the Nicki Minaj video coming up, right? Which is a big deal.
100%.
How did that one come up? Like, is that something where the label reaches out to you?
So it's featuring someone else as well. That's why I didn't want to mention the name. Right. And then, that person put me in contact, and then next thing you know, we connected. And nowadays it's more relationships. And I barely pitch, only if it's like a really crazy opportunity, like someone that I really was like, damn, like I don't have a relationship with that person.
Right.
But for the newer generation of artists, like, most of them know me as in my videos. So same thing like with Wiz. When I was shooting Wiz, he just, I reached out to him on a DM and he hit me back and we started, chopping it up as homies first.
You did the Iced Out Necklace and the Badass Bitches, right?
No, I didn't do Iced Out Necklace. I just did a Badass Bitches.
Okay, the Badass Bitches video is crazy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just like building relationships with people. You got me, and really taking your time to really understand them. Pull up to the studio, listen to the music.
Right.
Try to just connect with them first as people, and then from there, like be like, all right, cool. When the right time and it's organic, let's make it happen. And that's what happened with Wiz.
I think we kind of skipped over some of the accolades you have, though. Can we kind of just, do you know off the top of your head, to give people full context, you go from being immigrant who lives in a garage with his parents in Houston for 11 months to have. Give me, if you had to give me the top 5 off the top of your head, probably just let's just say views on YouTube videos that you have, just so we can kind of set the table, your company.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, Russ videos, went crazy. Losing Control, I think is at like, I don't know, 300, 400 million views.
Fucking
now.
Crazy. Shout out to Russ.
That was the first video shot. So it's very important, for me to say that. Yeah, there's so many videos, honestly. Like there's just so many.
Did you do the late at night video?
Late at night? No, I didn't do that one. That was Director X. Yeah, that was Roddy Ricch. No, we didn't do that one.
You did the box, which is the...
Yeah, we produced the box. It was directed by a kid named Christian, who was a director at our company. Yeah.
So when you are in the producer role, when it's like and you have 12 directors, so you said that work for you.
Yeah.
As a producer, like how much input do you have on everything?
Well, I think what I do is like I just try to lead by experience.
Right.
You get me? Because a lot of directors have the talent, but sometimes I think filmmakers can get a little weird. You get me? And they're more worried about the reel than the artist's career. And I try to worry about both. And I think that's what makes my videos so special. And because, before I was even like doing any video stuff, like I used to, in high school, I used to like freestyle battle rap people. Like, and I was going to school rapping and stuff. And I wanted to be a rapper. Right. And then I was like, and then I started like, you're growing up, you're a Spanish kid, you're like in a predominantly black neighborhood and you're like, damn, I can't really rap. Like I don't have that confidence as a 17-year-old. So I was like, you know what? Let me pick up a camera and maybe I could just shoot. You got me? And then that's kind of what happened. And so like I think like I also am kind of in a way like some deep down part inside me. I have this music artist ability in me that just wants to like understand who artists are and what they're trying to accomplish, You
also have a record label.
Yes, Do Everything Records, yeah.
With the homie Jordan from QC, right?
Yes, 100%. So yeah.
Talk about the artist y'all got. I forget the young lady's name.
Yeah, I have my record label, Do Everything Records, and he has The Wasted Youth, and we merged, and we did a partnership with Warner to sign a girl named Ivy 4.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that? I mean, obviously that's a whole nother bag of shit.
That was something to prove to myself just because like, I was working with so many artists and helping them develop. And I was like, you know what? I want something that I can like, stamp my name on and be like, yo, I really started from the ground up and like, without any confusion.
Right.
And just being like, sometimes you're like, oh, was it me or was it them or was it us? And I think it's a us thing, but
of course it should be an us thing.
Yeah. And then
unless you're Russ, then it's like really just you and him type of thing. Because Russ was like managing himself.
Yeah, but it was cool because with Ivy, she liked my photo and she saw Russ and then she saw who shot his videos. And it's so funny how like one thing connects to the other.
Right.
And then I was looking for a girl with box braids for a music video for Atlantic Records, and I saw her face and I was like, oh, she would be a perfect model. I reached out to her and then I was like, yo, do you want to be in this video? And she's like, well, I live in New York, but yeah, I'm down. I was like, yeah, the video's tomorrow. So how soon can you get here? And she's like, oh, well, the flight's like $800. And I was like, music video budget at the time? I'm like, yeah, I don't got the money. So she flew herself in, still met with me, and then, yeah, pulled up at me like at 2 a.m. and like sang for me. And I was just like, yo, you know what? Give me 90 days, give me 3 months, and I'll come back for you. And I just said that because I was busy doing some other videos at the time. And literally on the 90th day, I called her back and I said, yo, I partnered with Jordan. And I'm like, yo, let's do this together. We all hopped on the phone and we did that. Within a week, we had a $1 million offer from Sylvia Rohn at Epic.
Shit.
Yeah, because in that week, we made 5 songs and we shot 5 videos all in that same week. A guy named Christopher Anakunte saw Ivy and walked us into Epic, and he was about to leave there because he was like the senior or whatever A&R. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to turn it down and I'm going to develop this girl. So we took 2.5 years. We also got a deal from QC at the time, Interscope, and a few other places. And we turned down all the deals because I knew she wasn't ready.
Also, like, I'm sure the leverage wasn't great. Like, you had $1 million advance, but, you know, the terms probably weren't the greatest.
No, 100%.
For a new artist like that.
Yeah, so what we did was we waited 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and she was living in my house. Honestly, I had this really big closet, and she slept in there and made it a bedroom. I had roommates at the time. I was roommates with Jake and in this house in Sherman Oaks. And yeah, so she just, you know, she thugged it out. And I said, look, if you listen to me, you know, you'll be in a much better position in the next few years. And that's what happened. And then we ended up doing a JV partnership with our label in Warner. And, you know, it's betting for her, where she keeps, you know, keeps her tour rights and things like that. And it was very important for us to do that, especially, you know, seeing Russ and his deals. Yeah. Like, I saw him sign his first deal with Columbia. I was there and I filmed it. So it's like, I saw the contract and I knew that I'm like, yo, this guy won. He beat the system. And I was like, I could do this too. And I think that's what Russ is so inspiring, because it's like, he's really showing you guys how to get it. You know what I mean? But it's like,
most artists will go for that $1 million and then be stuck in a deal. 100%. And then once they blow through it, they'll be on Instagram complaining.
It's sad because, you know, once after taxes and after you pay your lawyers and after you pay, you know, your manager, if you have one at the time, like, which you probably will.
Do you have a manager?
Yeah, I have a management. Okay. Yeah. So I'm managed by a company called Uncommon, which is a division of Macro. And they did movies like Judas and the Black Messiah and like Fences and cool stuff too.
Are you going to try to get into producing movies?
Oh, that's already happening. So yeah, we got 4 projects in development right now, including a TV series about my life. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
So you're doing like the TV thing, all that.
Yeah.
That'll be big, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring that same energy I bring to music videos into the film world. But it's also like, you know, I want people to know that like I was a hood director. Right. Like, I was a guy who just pull up to the hood shooting identity theft scammers and in Miami, just pulling up drug dealers, whatever I need.
Are all these videos still on YouTube?
100%. You know, yeah, everyone in North Miami at the time, you know, from the J Bucks to the DZ the Rappers to the Flow Kids to the Young Feast to the Icebergs, you know, all the Lex Promotions gang who introduced me to so many local artists. Like, I started shooting videos for all of them, and I always thank them because like those guys literally, like, they didn't care if I didn't have documentation, they didn't care of nothing. They paid me cash under the table. Right. And kept you and it really kept me afloat. Yeah, it really kept me afloat. Yeah, and then it's kind of crazy just to think about it, honestly.
Appreciate y'all watching, but listen, our partners at Blue Chew, they got you handled, fellas and etceteras. Whatever you are, they got it. If you got a dick, Blue Chew is for you, because they will make sure your dick performs at all-time levels. I mean, like LeBron, his first 3 seasons with the Heat type levels. I mean, your wife will thank you for it. Everybody will thank you for it. Shit, even if you just take a Blue Chew and jerk your dick, it's a stronger jerk. I swear to God, stronger cock jerk for sure. You're going to be beating your dick like it stole something. So what you got to do is go to bluechew.com right now. Use the promo code BOOTLEG right now, and you're going to get your first month free. And this is the great thing about Blue Chew. The same active ingredients as Viagra and as Cialis, but you don't got to go to the doctor's office. Yeah, who wants to go hang out at the doctor's office and be like, hey, doc, you got some cock pills for me? Nobody wants to do that. No, you sign up at Blue Chew, use the promo code BOOTLEG, and you're getting your first month delivered to your door in discreet packaging. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me later. All right. If you've gotten Blue Chew already, just DM me. Tell me, just DM me. No photos. Just tell me how, you know. Let me just tell you, it's fucking amazing. Our producer Cyrus's dad, he's 70, took the Blue Chew. He's fucking just beating down all the senior citizen pussy available in Arizona right now. So go to bluechew.com, use that promo code BOOTLEG, or just hit the link in the description of this video. Let's get back to the interview. How different is trying to get into the movie and like a TV game?
Oh no, it's a learning curve because, you know, like I didn't grow up having like, you know, like a mentor to kind of like, you know, guide me in the film world or even in the directing world. So it was a lot of like first times for me, and it was a lot of trial and error. But I'm very grateful I had those experiences because they made me who I am today. But yeah, the Hollywood system is just a totally different game. And it's really about, you know, learning. It's not just about, oh, you can make a visually compelling music video. It's like, can you tell a story?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Can you, you know, keep an audience engaged? And that's kind of what I'm learning now. So I've been reading a lot of books, you know, like there's a really good one called, you know, Making Movies by Sidney Lumet that I just finished, and just trying to connect and, you know, surround my circle with more people who do movies rather than just people who do music, you know?
If you, after your first movie, I think of this movie up here, Belly, Hype Williams directed it.
100%.
And then he stopped directing movies.
Well, see,
but that movie visually was so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Now the storyline was kind of shit. It's to me the best, worst movie ever. But I just like wish you would have kept going.
Yeah, but sometimes with the Hollywood system, and that's why it's like it's so important to always keep going and to keep thriving, because you know the first movie, who knows, it might not do good. It might on paper look bad, but everyone knows, and especially in hip hop, that Belly's a classic.
It's a classic.
You get what I mean? Like how many times in music videos you see the treatment reference to Walking In of DMX and Nas.
100%.
You get what I mean? And it's just like, and I think that movie made more impact than noise at the box office.
No, for sure. And I think like it was definitely a DVD win.
Yeah, but
they sold so many fucking DVDs.
But studios don't see that. You know, they're gonna be like, all right, how much did you make opening week?
Right,
oh, snap. We spent all this money and we didn't make that back, or we only made that back in a little bit. No, this don't make no sense. You know, we rather shoot. We rather do I don't know, a bee flying around the. You know.
I was gonna say, are you to the point now that like if you're like, okay, I want to do a TV show based on my life, I can just bankroll that myself and then shop it around to a distributor?
Yeah, and it's funny because I came in the music space like being that way. Like, oh, if I believe in Russ, I'm gonna put my own money up and shoot a video for him. Or if I believe in this artist, I'm gonna put my money up. Or if Lil Baby gives me 10K, I'm gonna put an extra 5K to make it even better. You get me? And that's kind of how I flipped it. But in the movie world, you start realizing it's not just about the money. It's also about the partnerships and the distribution of the people who you're partnering with. And so, like, I had a TV series and I was gonna shoot the pilot, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna spend my own money. But then, you know, I had some people, some OGs be like, yo, you don't got to do that. We can find money and we can find the right partners strategically. So when the movie comes out, we all bring assets to it. And it's just not you putting it out on Instagram and being like, buy my movie, you know, because it'll probably fail. You know?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Cause I'm not super hip to to that side of the entertainment business, but to me, it feels a little, and I'm probably wrong, but it feels like a little similar to like, if you're an independent filmmaker, I guess kind of like a record deal. Like if you have something that you believe in and you can produce it yourself.
You can't wait. And that's why I decided to, and when my company, and the reason it's called Blank Square is because, you know, you really start at a blank slate. And I know that you got to fill it in yourself. And that's kind of why I call the company that. And yeah, so I decided to move my best friends to my production company. I decided to own my own equipment, so I bought cameras, you know, Alexas and lenses and tripods and monitors. I started my own post house, you know, that does editing and color correcting and VFX. And I opened up all these companies simultaneously as my business and production company were growing. And that's why now I'm able to be self-sufficient. So now if I want to shoot a short film, all right, maybe I just have to pay the actors and some crew. You know, I don't have to pay the camera. I don't have to pay the thing. In-house. And I kind of just took it off the Tyler Perry model, you know? Back in like 2015, I think I saw like an article where he's like, he's developing something crazy, extravagant. And I was like, I can do that too, but at a smaller scale. And I just started, instead of taking the money that I made for music videos and put it in my pocket or spend it at the club, I was like, let me buy a camera. Let me buy this. And now I still rent my gear out, and it's like a side hustle, you know?
Yeah, so you not only are you shooting the shit, but if somebody needs cameras, your company will rent out gear.
Honestly, like, and it's funny, like a lot of directors, you know, in the music video world, like we edit their videos and they don't even know it's my company. You got me? And it's just like, you know, it's just like, I try to get a bag everywhere. You got me? And it's all love to everybody, but it's just funny because, you know, I think sometimes as music video directors, you know, you feel like there's only one spot, which that's not true. We can all win. And it's just like, and that's kind of why, like, even being on this platform, I want to say that because I think what we got to do a better job of is, you know, developing the community, because, you know, music video directors, it's like different than any other art form. We get billions of views, but we don't get a percentage of videos. Correct. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get no part of the YouTube ad. We don't get nothing like a commercial.
You get a one-time fee.
Or a photo or like a movie. So it's like we get a one-time fee. And yeah, as much as it's nice, that one-time fee, especially if you're a bigger director, yeah, that's not passive income. Thank God I have other companies that do that. But this, like, you know, and I think that's what we have to come together and stick together to make a change, because I feel like, you know, I think over, like, as a director, I think I have over like 20 billion views.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Just to think about that, you know?
You know who's shout out to LaRussell. LaRussell out
yeah,
of
we're about to do something
Vallejo.
with him right now.
I was going to say, I know he's been doing a good job of when he puts music out, he puts it out through DistroKid.
Yeah.
And then he'll split everybody in, like if it's a video director.
And I want to give a shout out to Russell, because he actually texted me and he was like, you know what, man, I'm going to give you a piece of the video.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's he's like, bro, I want to see you win. And I'm like, that selfless energy is something that like really inspires me. And like, it always reminds me, same thing with our directors at my company. I make sure they see the bid. If there's a few $1,000s left over in the production, I'm like, yo, we gonna cut this evenly. You get me? And showing them that. But I think a lot of production companies don't do that, because it's just like, why would they do that? They could just pocket the money. And, you know, guys like Russ, and, you know, thank God to my dad, who's a good guy, just like taught me that character of being like very selfless and being very open when it comes to business. So nothing has to be weird later, you know? Because I really, really, really like depend on my relationships. You get me?
Hey, what year did you actually become a citizen?
2022, 2020.
So like, did that make just life much easier for you in terms of just like being able to move around?
Yeah. Well, think about it. Like, you know, when Russ went to Europe, I couldn't go. When Jake went to Europe, I couldn't go. When he went to Dubai, I couldn't go. When he went to Saudi Arabia, I couldn't go. Like a lot of life experiences that could have maybe shaped me or molded me to see different types of cultures, I missed out on. Yeah, same thing with you know, Ace Hood when he was going to Europe. I remember like my best friend, a kid I grew up with, his name's Ivan Barrios, so you might know him as the photographer DJ Khaled. And you know, Ivan let me borrow his first camera. It was a Nikon D60 at the time, and I shot my first music video for a guy he worked with at the shoe store with. And then I started shooting videos and I started making money. And then I call Ivan. I'm like, yo, bro, I just made $500 off a music video. You make $400 in 2 weeks working at a shoe store. You wanna ride with me? And I didn't have a car at the time, so basically I'd pay Ivan half of the video just to drive me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That shit is wild.
Yeah. And all my childhood best friends, like Joan, Andres, Marquise, all the kids from my neighborhood, they actually work for my company. You get me? Like they're the head of production. You know, Joan.
So you kind of help put everybody on.
Well,
you brought them with you.
Yeah, the thing is they stuck with me. You know, they were at my lowest. You know, I mean, there was times where like I literally like I used to walk. I used to take 3 buses to the Tri-Rail just to get to Miami to get to Lex office. Like shout out to Lex 100 times. Like it's 11 at night, and I used to literally miss the Tri-Rail. Literally try to figure out how I'm gonna get home, and I don't want to call my parents.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Fort Lauderdale's
like 40 minutes away.
About 35-40 minutes away. Yeah.
So and like I didn't want to call my parents because. You get me? Like, you know, you're young and you're like, I don't want to bother my parents. And if they saw the places that I was going, they would have been like, nah,
what are you doing? You're not going out again. Yeah.
Man, I used to be in the hoods, like, you know, like shooting hood videos with people with guns in my face. You got me? So it's just like, I show my parents that, they're going to be like,
what are you doing?
One time my mom, she was watching one of my videos and there's an artist named Young Fee and he was holding up a very big piece of weed. And she didn't know, and she's like, "Is that chicken?" You get me? Like you know, she didn't know. She's a Spanish woman, so she doesn't understand. And I'm like, "Yeah, mom," and you know, because they hated weed and they're very traditional parents because they come from Spanish countries. Yeah. So it was just funny to see all that kind of come together.
No, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, no, it's dope to see just kind of the start to you know what you're doing now and what you got coming. We got to stop the interview. Tell you about our partners at Odd Socks. Well, first of all, let's check out the brand new collab. Look at these, the Bootleg Kev sock. You see my pink ass face on those fucking socks? Nobody wants to buy those. We're gonna figure out a way to give them away though. But look, Odd Socks, the most comfortable socks in the world. And the best thing about Odd Socks is they're our family, man. I've been rocking with these guys for about 10 years now, and I will not wear anything else on my feet. Like, I swear to God, I'm about to take my shoe off. I'm about to take, look, what is this? Smells great too. That's an Odd Sock right there. That's an Odd Sock basic. You know what I'm saying? We fuck with Odd Socks. You should too. They got the crazy licenses. We're talking about Nickelodeon. Shout out to Patrick. Motherfucking Cheez-Its. Baywatch. How about macaroni underwear? Look at these boys right here. Let's just crack these motherfuckers open real quick. What do we got in here? Come on, man. Yeah, a little Pop-Tart underwear. You know what I mean? Yeah. These are the Odd Socks basics, all right? So if you go to the website right now, order you some underwear, order you some socks, use the promo code BOOTLEGKEV. That's one word altogether, BOOTLEGKEV, and you will save 20% off at checkout. Go to oddsocksofficial.com. One more time, that's oddsocksofficial.com, promo code BOOTLEGKEV, and you will save 20% off your order. Of course, we're presented by Odd Socks, and we are proud to say so. All right, let's get back to the interview. What was the most nervous you've been to shoot a video?
Oh, man, nervous? Honestly, damn. I don't want to be that guy and say I'm never nervous, but, man, honestly, when I shot Tiffany Haddish with Russ, I was like, yo, this is Tiffany Haddish.
She's a fucking superstar actress.
She's she just dropped a movie with Nicolas Cage. Like,
exactly. Great movie.
Yeah.
That movie's so fire.
And I was like, all right. So like, and I'm directing dialogue, and I'm just like, this is like a surreal moment for me. And I'm like, Edgar, it's time.
Yeah, that's a real moment.
I said, it's time to show up, And the way we got Tiffany is funny because I got invited to this macro event, and they throw this big pre-Oscar parties with all these celebrities. And I was talking to Russ. I'm like, yo, we need to put a superstar in this, like an actress or something.
Right.
Someone's going to give it like notoriety. And Russ wanted to kind of be a little bit more like funny. And he's like, yeah, everyone takes me too serious. I want to, loosen up a little bit and kind of like have some dialogue so I can show people that I'm actually this is who I am.
Right.
And we're at this pre-Oscars parties, and I'm like, yo, Russ, there's Tiffany Haddish. And we walk up to her, and that's when we locked her in for the video. Shout out to Jerome, shout out to Stephanie for connecting us. But yeah, we saw her, and we're like, yo, we want you in the video. And she's like, I don't know if she knew who Russ was, or maybe she heard of him, but she was like, I'm down. And then she was down to do it out of love too. But then Russ was like, no, I'm going to pay you because I respect your time and your energy and your efforts. So that was really respectful for him.
I do feel like, man, you're kind of like a perfect example of what it takes to really make it. Because I feel like when I meet young, up and coming artists or whatever you're trying to get into, it feels like there's a lot of entitlement and a lot of just a lot of entitlement, and a lot of times people just aren't willing to like
do the work
and also like see the bigger picture, see the longer play as opposed to the short right away gain. Like,
well, shout out to my family. My mom and dad always told me like, help people not because you want something from them, but just help them if they're in need. And I just seen artists that were super talented, and and I don't know, I just believed, when you have that intuition and that gut feeling like, yo, that person, I don't know, they have something special. And that's what I saw in guys like Ace Hood, Jake Miller, even Khaled at the time, and Russ, and all these artists, Little Baby super early. I shot all his early videos as well, Southside and all those ones in the hood. And it's like, I was just like, yo, these artists are special. And I had like an A&R ear, which ended up, leading to my record label. Yeah. And actually, I think we're about to sign another artist right now. But it was just funny, like your ears and like just understanding that like, yo, I think I know dope shit. And then I kind of took that into not only like artists, but into products. So I've invested a lot in, a hard seltzer company, an ice cream company, a non-GMO flour company. So it's like, and I'm like, I think these products are going to blow up. And things started going crazy, and you're just like, all right, cool, I'm ahead of the curve. And I'm very grateful to have that kind of like eye and talent,
100%. Do you think, well, first of all, there's a lot of fucking hard seltzer companies.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to Talago, best hard seltzer in the game. I should have brought some.
Yeah. How many carbs are in it?
I'm not even sure, but I know it's organic, and I know it tastes good, and it's very light and refreshing. And the reason I got into it because shout out to Henny, who hit me up about it. We shot this Smino video, and he's like, yo, Edgar, I think you'd be a perfect partner. And I was like, all right, cool, tell the CEO to pull up on me today. I'm at the Mondrian Hotel. And he did. And I'm like, that's the type of CEO I want to work with. I don't care what the product is. You know what I mean? You're hustling, you're here. And I made some concert for him that same day. And we're like, let's go. And like, that's how I could move. You get me? And I know it'll get better throughout the process.
Well, that's kind of what happened with the artist you signed, right?
That's kind of what I do. I just kind of get into things and I just go for it. I don't wait, and I think I'll tell everyone on camera, like, you can't wait on anything. You got to go get that shit. And like, that's kind of why I keep implementing that energy on my social medias, because a kid might see it and be like, you know what? Today, I'm decided to go get it. Yeah. It could change his life.
Obviously, you got the production company, tons of side businesses. Any other videos coming that you can obviously just with? Obviously, the Nicki one's a big one.
Yeah, Nicki's good. I think I could say something potentially with MIA is coming. Shout
out to her.
That's cool. Yeah, what I'm really looking forward right now is taking American artists and taking them outside of America to shoot their videos. Nice. You get me? It's because I feel like, you go to LA, you go to the same Peer Space or Gigster, and you see the same
every peer. You go to peerspace.com, and I'm just like, God, I've seen like 30 videos. That fucking place that they shot the Dark Knight at with the fucking lights on the ceiling?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
we've all shot videos there.
I'm like, God damn, how many videos have been shot here?
And it's just about
and commercials, and I'm like, fuck.
It's just about pushing right now, and like pushing how far we can do it. Like I just scouted a location, and it was literally I'm shooting at a college. You get me? And it's totally different than anything I've ever seen. So I'm like, I want to shoot there. You get me? And like,
what is like key to like finding a good location? Because that is something that, like you said, if you go, I kind of feel like if you go about like the super proper way, if you're kind of like a young independent shooter and you probably have a little bit more leeway in just like saying, hey, I think we can get this shot on like 3 minutes without permits. Like,
and that's the thing. It's about taking your time, right? And like, you know, really like I used to shoot videos. Like I shot this video for this band one time, and we traveled to Red Rocks. Then we traveled to Vegas. Then we traveled to Salt Lake City. And in between that, there was like snow somewhere, like a patch of snow, and I shot there too. And I shot this worldly ass video that you would think that it took like, it was like a National Geographic video, but it was really just like a matter of 2 days and just traveling and just stopping and finding these open roads where nobody's at and putting in that effort. Same thing with Gashi. Like, you know, I shot a video with Gashi where, you know, we drove all the way to Vegas just to shoot it, you know, just to get those scenes. Yeah, I love Gashi. I shot his first video, Disrespectful, that ended up getting signed.
Wow. Yeah, that record was crazy.
Yeah. I heard it. He was actually writing a song for Jake Miller, and then the studio session.
He was writing songs for a lot of people too.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
He wrote this. He was at the studio session, and then Jake and him, they were having a hard time getting a song together. So Jake left early, and then Gashi stayed, and he just took the studio time. And I was like, there's something special about this guy. And he was talking so abrasive. You know how Gashi talks? He's just very like in your face. And I was like, yo, this guy, I think, Jake, I'm gonna stay. And I stayed. And he was like, yo, let me play you my album. And then he played the song like that. I ended up shooting 5 years later with Sting on it. You got me?
Hey mama.
Hey mama. Yeah. And then
you shot the Sting video?
Yeah. And then but he played me that song 5 years prior to that moment. You got me? And he had that.
That's so crazy.
And then I was like, yo, that song right there is gonna be a hit. And then also he played Disrespectful. And I'm like, yo, we gotta shoot that next week. So I didn't have a car at the time, still undocumented in LA. And I was living with Jake, and shout out to Jake, because if it wasn't for him, I couldn't sign a lease or nothing. And like, I really appreciate it, because I only had to pay $1,000 and shoot one music video for him a month. And I was like,
it's fucking great.
I was like, I can do that, you know, and I could afford that. And yeah, man, it just came to a situation where I saw Gashi, and I was like, yo, I believe in you. And at that time, I'm doing, you know, $50,000, $70,000 music videos.
Yeah, his 1985
album is incredible.
Crazy.
Yeah. And his new stuff is crazy too. Like,
no, he's incredible.
Yeah, and then,
he's one of those artists that like, it's just a matter of like, I mean, I somehow, I'm not gonna get into where he was at prior, but I feel like he's a superstar. That's what I'll say.
And the thing is, one thing about Gashi, I'm gonna say, and if anyone has it misconstrued on him, and is like, when you call him, he picks up the phone. Yeah. You know, he FaceTimes you. He asks you how you are and not what you do. So I really just appreciate that, honestly. Like, he's a really good guy. Like, sometimes maybe misunderstood, but it's that same misunderstood and confidence that got him to where he is today. So
100%. I always think back to that video, him like in the meeting playing his records and just fucking, that's how he is everywhere.
Yeah, no, and that's the type of confidence people need to get. Like, I had to go and be like, in 2010, be like, I'm gonna be the biggest music video director in the world. Watch, you know, next year I'm gonna be directing a video for Nicki Minaj. And I always post those before and afters just so people can see like where it stems from. Like, and I think a lot of people see that with Draymond Green. They're like, why is he so confident? It's like, yo, like, to get to the NBA, to win 4 championships, like, bro, it's different. You get me? And it's just like, especially not being the star and stuff like that, and being told you're not the star every year. It's like, and still having that much impact on the team. Like, the real ones know, you know?
There it is, man. Well, listen, go follow this guy. He's posting hella inspirational content outside of just doing amazing work. What's your IG? Let everybody know.
Yeah, my IG is Edgar Esteves, EDGARESTEVES. Follow the company, Blank Square Productions, spelled the way it's on the hat. Kev, just want to give you your flowers too. I appreciate everything you're doing. I watch every interview. A lot of these interviews, honestly, like, and directors, like, you guys, before writing a concept for a video, watch the Wiz interview. You get me? You know what I'm saying? Like, understand that he was in the studio having shrooms with him, like, listening to the album 8 times. You get me? A lot of people won't do their research on artists. And if you want to direct videos in hip hop, care about hip hop artists. You get me? Don't come from another genre and think you're just gonna come over here, use them as clout, and then spit them back out. You get me? That's not what I do. That's why I still work with emerging artists, and that's why I built a company so my directors can build with them and grow with them because it's their time now. Yeah. And I just want to say that, and you know, that's the message I wanted to come here and say. So I
appreciate you, brother. There it is, man. Go run it up, man. Go watch all his shit and shout out your artist one more time.
IV4, and shout out to everyone who's just helped me along my journey, good or bad. I appreciate y'all.
It's a great journey, man. Yeah. There it is.
Bootleg Kev.
Edgar. Boom.